What is going on, guys? This is Max and welcome to another War Thunder video. And this time we're gonna take a look at two different ammo types, because a lot of people keep asking me which ammo to use if they have to, in which situation, because they always wonder why is Max always using the APCBC shells. And I'm gonna explain that, and I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. I don't promise anything, so we will use the Yak Panther. It's the premium version. It doesn't matter which Yak Panther you use. You can use the normal version. There's no difference. I will just use the premium version because, you know, I have it and I can just use it. We will look at the APCBC shells and we will look at the APCR ammunition, and we will see how these two different ammo types behave when hitting a tank and what it does to the internals. So we will go into a test drive. I will load the screen fast and then I'll be back in a second. So we're in a test drive right now, and you can see I have APCBC loaded, and I will show you first though what APCR does, because I think it's important to know how an APCR round behaves if you're not used to it, and if you have to use it. I always suggest don't use it if you don't have to. Use the APCBC shells if you can. The reason why I will explain now. So if you hit, for example, the turret of a T-34 with an APCR round, this is what's going to happen. It will over penetrate, or it will, because the penetration of the APCR round from the Yak Panther is way too high for that, so you will probably over penetrate and will have a little fragmentation to non-fragmentation. So you can, fragmentation means when the shell hits the tank, it will go inside. It won't shatter into a million pieces because it's one solid metal core of the APCR. This means the shell will just go through the tank and damage what is on the way, on the way of the shell. So it won't shatter while hitting anything. It might be stopped, for example, from the engine block or anything else that is more solid inside the tank, but it won't shatter into pieces. Why this is not happening? Because APCR round, like I said, is a solid metal core and doesn't have any explosive cap in it. So I will take another shot at the turret of the T-34, and you can see it over penetrates and just damaged what is on the way. So if we switch that up now to APCBC, also not to forget to mention, APCR rounds have a higher velocity, so for greater distances above, let's say 1000 meters, it's worth, or even 500 meters, it depends what tank you're facing, in which tank you are, then it's worth to switch to APCR rounds if you can't penetrate them with APCBC shells. So what happens now if I hit that T-34 on the same position with an APCBC shell? What is going to happen is the shell is gonna penetrate the tank and it's gonna explode inside the tank, because it has a ballistic cap which is filled with explosives. So this means after a certain amount of millimeters penetration, it will explode inside the tank and shatter all over the place. So I will showcase this now on the turret, same position, almost same position. I try to keep it on the same position, so we'll fire that now. And you can see it shattered completely inside the tank. It took out the cannon breech, the gunner and the loader. You can even see a bigger difference. God, we're crippling this T-34 now till the limit. I hope it doesn't explode. Sometimes if you hit the fuel tank with the APCR round, it can explode, but the chances are really slim. So we will try to shoot now on the side of the T-34 and see what happens. And you can see it over penetrated and did a little fragmentation to no fragmentation and just hit it a bit the horizontal turret drive and scratched the gunner on the back. So you don't want that. You wanna, if you hit the tank, you wanna be something, you want it to be something like that now. Boom. It fragmented, but don't forget, the shell of the Yak Tiger, of the Yak Panther, has a lot of penetration. This means it will, even the APCBC will over penetrate. But if I go, for example, to the T-34 over there, we're gonna close the distance a bit, just so it's more fair in comparison to what I just did. We'll close the distance a bit and then you will see what will happen when you hit it with an APCR round on the turret and what happens, or on the lower side, and what happens when you hit it with an APCBC shell. It's the same concept. The APCR round probably will over penetrate or stop somewhere because it gets stopped by the engine block or anything solid inside the tank, which has more of a solid value to it. So if we hit the tank now, oh wait, I need to switch ammunition fast. So if I will hit the tank now on the turret, I'll probably hit a crew member, maybe in the head or somewhere. I think there's around somewhere here is the commander. So we will aim for that now. And you can see, I didn't even hit anything. If you don't know exactly where the people are sitting in the turret, for example, I mean, I know the ammunition is on the backside of the turret of a T-44, obviously. So we will switch now to APCBC rounds, because if you don't know what you're hitting, then you're screwed with APCR rounds. Let's say APCBC shells are more noob friendly if you kinda know where the weak points are. You just have to know where the thinnest part of the armor is of a tank. So then you can do really well already with APCBC shells. I mean, watch now what will happen. I shot him and it didn't over penetrate and it fragmented inside the whole tank, killing the whole crew of the T-34. You won't be able to do this with APCR rounds. I will just shoot the KV-2 on the side of the turret. I know there's the crew member sitting where I'm aiming for, so we'll just shoot it there, and you will see, bam, dead, almost dead. I mean, I took out the half crew of the KV-2 already, so the tank is half done. Also, APCBC shells have a higher chance to set the tank on fire. This means when you hit, for example, the engine block or a fuel tank, like I just did now, it will set it on fire more likely than it will do with APCR rounds. And like I said, it has fragmentation to it. This is why I always will choose the APCR rounds, the APCBC shells over the APCR rounds, because you just hit one, and you see I hit actually the fuel tank on the backside, but it didn't set it on fire. It doesn't have enough explosives to do so. There is no explosive in APCR rounds, and you can see I hit the engine, it's disabled, but it's not burning. If I hit the same spot now with the APCBC shell, it should set it on fire. I mean, now the engine is this. You can cripple your enemies with APCR rounds really good, but you can't make them pay for if they just killed you or whatever. And you see it shatters, okay, because it's disabled already, it apparently doesn't set it on fire, so that's a bit weird. It should still set it on fire though, so this is not my fault here, not my poor explaining, but you can see it even exploded the fuel tank in front, set them on fire on the back, killed a couple of crew members while doing so. So if you have to choose ammunition types, and you're sure you can penetrate the enemy tank with an APCBC shell, please go for the APCBC shell. This is, for example, really important on the American tanks, because the American tanks offer you mostly only APCR rounds, but you have a choice of APCBC. And if you play well and you flank your enemies smartly, then you can actually penetrate them from the side, for example, with an APCBC shell and do much more significant damage than doing it with an APCR shell. So remember, fragmentation, APCBC shell, much damage inside. If you know where to shoot, where the soft parts are or the sensitive parts of a tank inside, then you can use APCR if you can't penetrate your target. So if you know the engine is on the back, for example, of the tank, yeah, it sounds a bit stupid, but I gotta explain it like that. If you know the engine is on the back side of the tank and you wanna cripple the engine and you know how to shoot the APCR around, you shoot it on the back side of the tank. Easy as that. Then you know the engine will be crippled or even starts burning. I mean, I know it's an IS-4 in front of me. I can penetrate him from the side, so I will just shoot inside with and watch what happened. It killed 3 crew members, hit 2 ammo racks, and they both exploded. So the IS-4 was done for. So yeah, like I said, APCBC if you can, APCR if you have to, or on longer distances. This is always my mantra with the tank shells. This is why I'm actually playing good, because I'm trying to use the more difficult shell but it does more damage and is more likely to kill your enemy or cripple him so hard that he can't do anything anymore against you, and he's just a sitting duck and has to repair and rely on his teammates, which, you know, it's hard to rely on your teammates on War Thunder, so you're more likely to kill him than he will kill you. I hope this helped you guys a bit, figuring out the what shells to use or what ammunition type. If you still have questions, don't hesitate, leave them down low in the comments. You know, I always answer my comments as fast as possible, and I will try to help you out with your questions and try to guide you in the right direction. As always, guys, this is Max, and don't forget to subscribe, hammer that like button, and we see each other in the next video. Bye bye. So this is my outro, and here you can watch one of the previous videos. Or also subscribe to the channel. To the left or to the right, you can click one of the previous videos. Also on the top there is that big subscribe button. And guys, thank you for watching.